In this technical support video, I'm going to be discussing a question that we get pretty often actually, which is I've imported or created an optomechanical assembly and I'm assigning some scatter properties. How can I assign an importance sample that is common to multiple surfaces to all the surfaces of interest at once? So unlike, say, scatter properties over here on the object tree, importance samples don't have a node on the object tree, so I can't simply create an importance sample like I do a scatter and drag and drop up to, say, my optics subassembly. It doesn't work that way. So what we have to do is use the scripting language, of course. So for example, I've got a subassembly called optics, and I'm interested in assigning an importance sample, a single importance sample to all of the optical surfaces of my lens elements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a script that uses the surface's description information as a check to see whether or not a surface gets assigned an importance sample specification. So the importance sample specification that I'm going to add is 20 degrees around the specular direction. So I'm going to go ahead and give the surfaces that I want to assign the importance sample a description tag that I'm going to customize. So it's going to be 20 degrees specular. Okay, I'm going to do this for all of the surfaces that I want to assign this importance sample. So for example, lens 2, lens 3, the optical surfaces have 20 degrees specular in the descriptor. And I'm going to create a little embedded script here that I've called add 20 degrees specular impsamp. Okay, this script is really short. So what we do is we loop over all of the entities in the document. So go up to the object tree here, loop over sources, geometry, etc., etc. Go down the list here. And I check to see if the entity that it's currently on is a surface. If it is a surface, I'm going to go out and get its descriptor. If the description matches 20 degrees specular, which is what I've entered here in the description column, 20 degrees specular, then I'm going to print out some information to the output window to basically tell me that I'm modifying the surface. And then I'm also going to assign a specular importance sample. And you can find the importance sample script commands, since typically we don't know them offhand. Go up to help topics, go down to the scripting reference manual, and click on importance samples. And these are all the script commands related to importance sampling. So I'm going to scroll down, and these are the script commands particular to assigning an importance sample that's according to the specular direction. Okay. So in this case, it's impsamp add specular. I give it the node number of the surface, and then I give it the name, and this is going to be the cone half angle. So I do that for each surface. So let's go up here. This is embedded script number 1. So if we hover our mouse over the surface icons here, we can see on the bottom that importance samp count is 0 for all of these surfaces. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run the script. Loops over all the entities, checking for the description. If I hover my mouse over there, I can see it now says importance samp is 20 degrees specular, which is what I've assigned. So let me open that up. Here's my scatter direction region of interest. You can see that it's 20 degrees specular. Here's the 10 degree half angle, and hit OK. So that's fine. Now I can do this in general. I can do this multiple times. So if I hit the script button again, I can see that now I have 2 importance samples. Now this is the same script, so it's going to be 2 of the same importance samples, which doesn't make sense, but for demonstration it's fine. Okay. You can see that the edge surface does not have the matching description, so it has no importance sample counts. But the surfaces with the proper descriptor do have the importance sample count. Okay. So let's go ahead and add a couple more of those. So now we should have 4. Okay. So the question you might ask is, great, now I've assigned them. What if I want to sort of start over or assign a different importance sample specification? How do I get rid of those? Well, okay, so let's create another script here. What we're going to do is, this is going to be a very general script, so let's loop over all of the entities. So for equals 0 to get entity count -1. Okay. We need to dimension our index here. Okay, so we're looping over the entities. Let's check to see if they're a surface. Okay. If they are a surface, let's loop over that surface's important sample specifications and let's delete them. So for JJ, notice that we're looping over these backwards, so from last to first. And we're going to delete the current important sample of surface II, index JJ. Okay. That's all there is to it. Let's check our syntax. Yep, we missed something. Okay, so it was imp samp get count. We need to give it the surface index number, so that's II. Okay. Check the syntax. Okay, looks fine. So you'll notice that our surface has, we have 4 important sample specifications. Let's give this a new name. And now let's run our short script. Okay, no problems. We go back. We see that now it's deleted all of the important samples. So this will allow us, we can, if we have some important samples that are commonly used, we can write a short script like this first one to assign it to surfaces with the proper description. And then we can also write a short script to loop over all of the important samples and delete them. So 2 simple scripts that enable us to get around the fact that we can't drag and drop on the object tree currently.